Hello YouTubists and welcome back. It has been quite some considerable time since we last posted. Some people would say it's been a hot minute. For me, a hot minute is the first 60 seconds getting into your car on a summer's day. Actually, that's more like a hot 5 minutes, then the air conditioning cools the thing down. No, it's been a long time since we posted last for a couple of reasons. One, I became very sick. I had respiratory syncytial virus, or RS virus, which is pretty foul. Not quite COVID, but not far off it. We've also had Christmas and New Year, so a belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. And what happens at Christmas? We get presents, we eat too much, there's nothing on the television, even though it's cold outside, and this year I got a Christmas bonus. What did I spend my Christmas bonus on? Shall we see? My name is Gary and welcome to One by Bikes. Now, so I've come indoors. It was a bit cold out there, and it's lovely and warm inside. Now then, load of money in bank, and well, if I'm honest, when I bought my bike, I bought the poverty spec. That is to say, I added nothing to the build. I just took it as it came. It was expensive enough, and I thought, no, that will do. If I need to upgrade, then I can upgrade as and when. Well, first thing I did was buy a new saddle, and then grips, and then a dropper post and pedals, and that got the bike to where I wanted it to be. But then we have the question of what would you like? The bling sort of things, you know, what can I treat my bike to now? Do I want new brakes? Or do I want a new drive system? Do I want new shifters? Do I want new wheels? The big upgrade that everyone talks about is the new wheels. Fancy hubs, fancy spokes, fancy rims. The rims I will get to. The spokes probably as well. The hubs, not sure. I'm fairly happy with the hubs that I've got, so we'll see about that. So, Christmas bonus money, what do I spend it on? Well, I thought, what do I need for my bike? As in, what do I need for my bike? And the answer was not a lot really. However, it's not a start again, speak words out fluently, possibly, maybe. I'm not the only person that rides a bike in this household. There's my wife, but she earns twice as much as me, so she can, yeah. But then we've got 2 kids, and we bought poverty spec bikes for them. Good bikes, but in need of upgrading. So, Christmas bonus money, why don't we upgrade the kids' bikes? Let's see what we got for them.
What are these called?
What is it, Miles?
Rascal. It's a seat post.
Tell your mum what it is.
What kind of seat post?
A sand seat post. It's
What
a
does it
dropper
do?
post.
A dropper post.
Yes, dropper post.
So, dropper post bought for the kids who are currently out riding their bikes, enjoying their new dropper posts. Well, Gary, you may say, that was very generous of you. But did you buy anything for yourself with your own Christmas bonus money? In the words of Sir John Betjeman, the former poet laureate, you bet I did. Shall we see? And this is what I bought for myself. Spank Split stem and 1-up carbon riser bar. You would not believe the trouble I had trying to find one of these. In the end, I found it in Norway. Norway of all places. So, I guess the only thing we can do now is fit it to the bike. Okay, then let's get started. Things you're going to need to do a bar swap and a stem swap. Allen keys, some kind of screwdriver with multiple Torx bits, hex bits. You will need a hacksaw for cutting down your bars, a mask for cutting down your carbon bars. Mask very cheap, lungs very expensive. You will also need, for the tightening, a torque wrench, and you will need a stem and a set of bars. Now these bars here, as you can see, I've taped them with duct tape down to where I need to cut them. So I'm going to cut them right on that line there, just there. So from the silver and inwards will be 780. You can actually see all of the other lines on the bar. So that's what we need. We'll also need a vise, and the vise is outside, but inside it's nice and warm. So we're going to do this inside, apart from the cutting of the bars. Now hopefully Sophie isn't going to mind, but we'll see about that. Okay then, amateur bike mechanics in the house. Oh yes, glasses. Attempt nothing without the glasses on, particularly when you're over 50. Now, the first thing I've done is got my bike set up. It's in the stand, sort of, but it's also on the floor. The front wheel is on the floor and the back wheel is on the floor. Reason being, when you undo the stem, the forks will want to naturally fall away, because that's basically the stem is what's holding the forks on. So, front wheel on the floor. First thing we need to do, because we're swapping the bars, is take everything off. So let's do that. I'm going to try to get this done before the kids get back. They're at school at the moment. Because when they come back, it's not going to be quiet. Careful not to scratch the stanchions. There. One very slight riser bar. Yes. So tighten this up just a little bit. There, you see? And then we can start tightening these ones again just a little bit. That's not terribly tight, but it's this one here which allows play or doesn't allow play in your forks. If your forks move backwards and forwards, they're too tight or too loose. What have we not done? Have we cut down the bars? No, we have not. Let's go cut down the bars. Right then. Vise, mitre box, carbon bar. Important to put the, oops a daisy, where's the camera? There. Important to line up. I'll get it eventually. There. So that's where the saw goes, and that'll cut a perfectly clean line. Alright, let's get the camera set. If I'm perfectly honest, I did not do this with my aluminium bars. Didn't think they deserved it. But with a carbon bar, go on, spoil yourself. There we are. All done and not dusted. Vacuum cleaner for that. Right, let's stop film and get the vacuum cleaner. Okay, forgot to show you before, but when you're mounting a new stem, there should be between 0mm and 5mm between the top of the steerer tube and top of the stem. And then the stem top nut sits in there, and there is your star nut, that's what you bolt into. It can't sit too far down the top of the steerer tube, and it cannot sit proud, it can't stick up. Alrighty? Good. Right then, bars are cut down to size. Let's get them in bike. Okay, so we've got the bars cut down. What we need to do first is put some carbon paste on them to make sure that they've got proper grip in the stem. Now this is just a solution with very fine bits of grit in it. It will scratch, but that is the price you pay for having handlebars staying on your bicycle. The thing with muck off stuff, yeah, if you've never had muck off stuff before, I recommend getting it. It's a fair price, it's good stuff, but it smells, this smells of black cherries, or black currants rather. Okay, bars ready to go. Here it says no gap. So this portion is supposed to be completely closed. And then at the bottom it says gap. There you can see it says gap down at the bottom there. Now, so this one gets closed up entirely until it won't tighten anymore, down to about 6 Newton meters. And then this one gets closed again to 6 Newton meters. And what do we have here? Oh, look, 6 Newton meters. Brilliant. Right, let's get this tightened up then. Right, now as you saw with the stem over there, at the top it was no gap. On this one you need to equally fasten everything down. All right, so here are the gaps, and in between there's a little rubber spacer. So tighten these up, and what you do is you tighten them in a pattern. So you start 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe 3 turns, 3 turns, 3 turns, 3 turns. 2 turns, 2 turns, 2 turns, 2 turns. When it starts to get tight, then you're in with your torque wrench. Point to note, I've just taken aluminium bars out. Aluminium bars are harder to squash. Carbon bars, easier to squash, so you need to be careful. Very important with torque wrenches, you only ever use them to tighten things, never to loosen. That one's done, hear it click, quarter turn, That one's done. This one, done, and done. And that's it, bars are in place. Right, kids are back, so it's going to get noisy. Gabrielle, coming back from school. Schoolgirl. Okay, that seems to be everything done, so let's go for a bike ride. First impressions, apart from the strong smell of black currants coming up from the carbon paste on the handlebars, is that, oh, check out this, oh, pedal strike, right. I've gone from a 50mm stem to a 35, and the very first thing I noticed was, ooh, this steers much quicker. And, ooh, what's that lovely smell of blackcurrants? Thank you, muck off. But yeah, steers faster. Know that this thing steers slowly. But going, oopsie daisy, gears, going through that rock garden there, there is a certain deal of vertical compliance. The bars flex a bit and you can feel it. It's not unpleasant though. Yeah, definitely. Right, let's see them turn then. And this is a new one for me. Not the motorway. That's been there for a while. Ladies and gentlemen, the ski jump. This was the last feature that I needed to tick off before the end of the year. We're now into January, but with Mike as my witness, I did it last year in December. So let's see how these bars cope. Let's go. Not too fast. Pretty good. Oh my word. God, it's slippy back there. The back wheel is giving it all sorts of squirm. And I really do not like the wet. Oh God, I should have put goggles on. But yeah, that ski jump there was the last feature that I hadn't completed, along with that rock garden from earlier. The rock garden from earlier was never a, oh, I'm frightened to do this. It was just a, why do I want to do this? Right, still a quagmire in here. Oh yeah, that is good. Problem with riding it this time of year is your bike needs a clean after every single ride. In the summer, I can look at my bike with its sheen of dust on it and go, yeah, that was a good ride. Oh my word. Back wheel sliding there. The simple answer would be to get better tyres for the mud, or just don't ride when it's muddy. I don't like the mud or the rain. Not much anyway. It is rumoured that we need water to survive. I can accept that. If the water's prepared to stay in its part of the world, the sea, the rivers, lakes, then I'm prepared to stay on the dry bits. I love jumping so much. It's like drugs, but without the inevitable police chase and incarceration. Jumping makes you high. And the more you want, or the more you jump, the higher you want to get. I love my bike. Everybody, I'm not ashamed to admit it, I love my bicycle. Even in the mud. Right then, last little berm and then home. Okay, let's go. No break. Well, that was an unnecessarily dramatic end to a fairly decent ride, apart from the weather, mud, etc, etc. I stopped and spoke to the guy, and he said that he didn't realise that it was for bicycles only. But when I explained to him and showed him the signage saying, look, this is for bikes only, he then changed his tune and said, yeah, but I'm not really doing any harm here, am I? To which I said, yeah, well, if I'd crashed into you, both of us would have been injured, which is why it's only bikes allowed on here, unfortunately. But some people will do what they want to do regardless. Anyway, back to the point in question. The new bars, are they any good? Difficult to say. They certainly weigh a lot less than my old bars. They feel better though. the compliance that you have from them. They are stiff in nearly every direction apart from vertically. There's a certain amount of cushioning which feels brilliant. Also, they look cool and they're one-up and yeah, just everything. The stem, I didn't know what I wanted for a stem. I knew I wanted to change my stem. The one that I had on before was a 6-pack one. It came with the bike and it was a stem. It was okay, but it looked ugly and it was a bit long. It's a 50mm stem. So I wanted a 35, and then I thought I wanted a silver stem and decided on a DMR in a lovely polished metal. And then I saw someone with a silver stem and went, nah, don't want one of them. Also, the DMR stem was fairly heavy. So I eventually settled on the Spank Split stem, and I'm glad I did. I think it looks great, and it steers quickly without making the bike twitchy. Mind you, having said that, it's a downhill rig, so it's not really going to be twitchy. Anyway, happy with the stem, happy with the bars. It's probably the last upgrade that I need to make, with the exception of the rims. I could probably do with new rims. Now, I've made a point not to replace anything on the bike which weighs more than the thing it replaces. The reason for that is not because I'm obsessed with, you know, having a lightweight bicycle. As we've said before, it's an enduro bike. It's not meant to be incredibly lightweight. If your bicycle is slightly heavy, you get fitter pedaling it up hills. It's also more stable going downhill. What I want to do though is not to make the bike heavier than 15 kilos, because at 15 kilos you reach the weight limit for most cycle carriers, most bike racks for cars. So don't want to go over 15 kilos. Apart from that, could I care less? Nah, not really. So that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you're not subscribed, you could maybe consider subscribing. Give us a thumbs up. Definitely give us a thumbs up because it helps with the algorithm. And leave a comment. And if you want notifications on new videos like this one here and the one coming next, hit the bell icon. All I need to do now is to bid you adieu and to say, remember, one buy is one more betterer in it.